my channel. My name is Jen Shepherd. I am new to YouTube, so any comments that you do leave on this video is greatly appreciated. Any feedback, I mean anything like that, I really need to hear from you guys and see what you guys want to see. If you like what I'm doing this because I'm bored and I love doing it anyway. So if you want me to stop, just tell me to stop. But if you want to see more, tell me what you want to see. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. It's just my first video really of starting it to do my makeup, my primer, right to my lashes and lip gloss. So yeah, just like the video, subscribe if you do, and you can follow me on Instagram as well. And thanks for watching. So I hope you guys really enjoy the video. Thanks, bye. Okay guys, so here I am with no makeup on. Just getting ready to prime my face with the Mary Kay Foundation Primer with Sunscreen SPF 15. I don't use this all the time, but sometimes if I'm using a lot of makeup on my face, I will use it just to make sure that it's like a nice flawless finish to it. So it does go on a lot smoother, the application does. So as you can see, you don't need very much, a little tiny bit. Rub that together and put that on, and it just feels so nice when you put it on because it's so smooth, and it'll help like minimize the pores and stuff like that when you put on your foundation as well. So just rub that in and get that in there pretty good. I let that dry too before I go ahead and put on my foundation. I'm thinking this video is going to just flip right over because I cropped it, but give it a chance to kind of sink in and prep your skin. So now I'm taking this Mary Kay thing that I usually use for like testers when people want facials and stuff like that, but I had a bunch of them left over. And for me, I found it's perfect for mixing my foundations on when I have two different kinds that I want to blend together first before applying to my face. So this way I'm not like kicking up the whole back of my hand. So I have the 24-Hour Revlon Color Stay Foundation, and that's in a 240 medium beige. And it's for combination to oily skin, which I have. It's really lightweight. I'm going to use a little bit of that and mix it with the other one. Now I'll show you in a second. Little tiny bit. The Mary Kay Charmwise Matte Wear Foundation in Ivory 5. That is like the base that I used in my other video as well for mixing all the foundations together. I always tend to go back to this one. It's really messy, and I dropped the cap, which I always do, and I didn't make a mess though, I don't think that time. So I'm going to add a little bit of this. You can see it's really yellowish, but I have these yellow pigments in my skin, so when I mix it with the warmer color, I find the color suits me really well. You might think that it looks awful, but you're entitled to your opinion too. I add a little more. I'm always afraid of going too dark because you can always add color with bronzer and stuff, as opposed to like having a totally different face from your neck. Baby wipes, essential, oh my lord. I'm just mixing it together with the end of my thing, and I'll wipe it off after and put it back in my thing. I just don't want to use my finger for it. So there's a NYX color. It looks nothing like my face because I have a lot of red to my face, as you can see, and blemishes and scarring and stuff. So then for my foundation, I'm going to take the Sigma Flat Kabuki brush. It's a F80. Pick off a few little strays. Yep, there you go. Amazing finish when you use this for your foundation. I absolutely loved it. Just dab a little bit on. You can see you don't get very much on the end of your brush. Stipple it on first, and then you can go in with bigger circles and blend it into your skin a lot better once you actually get that first application. This way you don't get too much foundation on in one spot and it's not even. You want to make sure there's a little bit of melt. You can build it after and blend it in really well. Make sure you really get it into those pores and stuff. Blend that all around, go back, reapply, You understand how to put on foundation, I'm sure. Just kind of want to show you the technique, if anything. I do go down underneath the jawline and the chin a little bit just to make sure that the color kind of blends. And like, there's not a whole lot of makeup on the brush at this point either because most of it is on my cheek area and down around my chin. But there's a little bit left on, so I will bring that down a little bit underneath the chin. Make sure you get the sidelines from your ears. You don't have to worry too much about going down underneath the eye or on top of the eyelid right now. We're gonna go in with something else. Oh, blemish, a little dab extra there. So make sure you blend it in really good around your hairline too, because there's nothing worse than seeing like cakey hairline, or it's not blended, or you stop too soon. If the foundation's not perfect to the skin color around that area, then you're really going to notice it and it's not going to look blended, it's not going to look natural. I find this is the hardest part for me because I find it really hard not to get makeup in my hairline, and I know it does happen, but hey, what do you do? This brush is so smooth. If you haven't tried it before, you really need to get one. It's like the best. I think it's $18, best 18 bucks you'll ever spend. And again, I'm bringing some down on my neck. It's not like a lot of makeup. It's like whatever, is hardly anything left on my makeup brush there. So then I'm going to use the Garnier, the Skin Renew Eye Roller for dark circles, anti-dark circle roller or whatever. I shake it up because sometimes I find if I don't, I won't get an even application of the product. So I just shake it up and roll it on, make sure I go up into the crease, the corner of my eye, I mean, over top of the lids. Same for the other. And I do bring it down my cheek a little bit as well, just to get that kind of highlighted look down on the top of my cheeks. Very nice. Then I have the Maybelline Dream Lumi Highlighting Concealer, and this one is in Radiant. So it has a little brush on the end, you click and the product will come out of that. This has like a pinkier tone, which I find is really nice for fair skin underneath the eye. And I just paint that on over top of the Skin Renew Garnier roller. And it looks like a lot of product, but when you roll it in, it's not. Yes, I already said it was Radiant. Oops. But yeah, you can see it almost starts to like get absorbed into the skin before you get a chance to even blend it, which is fine too, because again, it doesn't really show up this crazy amount of makeup or anything. But I try to get inside my eyes here really well because it's bluish. I'm going to leave that underneath my eyes for a little bit just so that it can kind of thicken up a bit. And right now I'm just going in with the Mary Kay concealer in Ivory 2. And I'm just touching up a little bit of blemishes that I see around and scarring and stuff that didn't get covered with the foundation. I could have built up the foundation there, I guess, as well, but to me a spot treatment is just as good. So now I'm just warming up my hands because they're like ice. And I'm just going to blot it in with my ring fingers, gently in around my eyes, and this is how I'm blending now the concealer. And I have used a concealer brush before too, and it's okay, but I find this really kind of, the warmth from your hands, when you warm them, it does kind of like set it in your skin really well. And it's a good primer for the eyes, because I don't have an eye primer right now. So just make sure that gets all blended in. I have really deep set eyes as well, so I find the shadowing from the like sunkenness of my eyes is really hard to cover, so the dark roller does help. And that's just the Mary Kay Mineral Foundation brush that I have, kind of for like random things. It is clean, so I'm just going to use it to blend out the, or buff out the concealer that I used. Wipe off all that junk that I just used. Baby wipes. Amazing. Then I'm using the corner of the baby wipe to wipe the foundation if there's any foundation overlapping my lips. Some people will cover their lips with foundation to like get their lipstick to stick better, but I find it doesn't help at all. I'd rather put it on my natural lips. Unless I was doing something really, really nude that I wanted it to stay. So then I have the NYX Eyebrow Cake Powder. And there's two different colors, a light brown and dark brown. I'm going to use the lighter one. And I'm not using the wax actually today. Which you can see I used a lot of. Take the little spoolie that comes into it, comb with the brows. Make sure they're kind of going up and out, because that's the kind of shape you want to have for when you are filling them in. As you can see, I need a lot of filling in my brows. I have very fine hair over my body anyway, So if I tweeze one hair, that could be an entire gap in my eyebrow. And I did do that younger. So yeah. Now I have to fill my brows in for the rest of my life. This brush is Sigma Flat Definer. It's the E15. It is an amazing, amazing eyebrow brush. It's really, really flat, so it's easy to get like that starting out shape in the bottom, as you can see, and then I just fluff it up. And then I'll fill it in at an angle going down the side as well. And I do tend to spend a lot of time on my eyebrows and my eyeliner because those are the things I find you want them to be as symmetrical and as natural looking as possible. So, you know, I think it's worth taking the time to do that as opposed to, like, I don't know, something else. But yeah, I'm particular about my brows, and I find I don't always get them the way I want them to, and that just makes me really frustrated. But lately they haven't been too bad. One eyebrow is a lot better than my other eyebrow. I don't know if some was regrown, but anyway, the cake powder and this brush are awesome. They make the job of filling in your eyebrows so much easier. Then I go with the spoolie and just brush it out, so it's not such a harsh line. And then I just take my pencil and I line them up. I did the other brow, and then just make sure that the beginning is there at the nose, the arch is across my pupil, and then the end of it should end up at the end of my eye. If you draw a line it from the corner of your eye, it should meet that. So I always check them just to make sure, because sometimes that'll help me notice if one is not as symmetrical as the other or something like that. So you can just extend it a little bit if you had to. Then I have my eyeshadow palette from Sigma that came free with my brushes, and I absolutely love the Publicize, which is what I'm pointing to right there now. It's a great base color, like all over color. There's not a lot of shimmer to it, it's just awesome. Really nice to start out to kind of get a base. And that is just a, what is the name of that again? Something really similar. Simple eye color brush from Mary Kay. I'm just applying the Publicize from Sigma all over my eyelid. Okay, so this is Pink Porcelain. It's a highlighter from Mary Kay. And I find this really, really good to use with the tapered highlighter brush from Sigma. It's an F35. I'm looking for it. There it is. And that works really, really good for patting on the Pink Porcelain highlighter just to set my concealer that I just put underneath my eyes. I find that helps. I'm just like gently patting it in there. I don't have to rub it really, but even just patting it is fine. Tap off the excess. Okay, then I'm taking Granite. It's a mineral eye color from Mary Kay. It's like a grayish color, almost like a grayish brown color. More gray though. And I absolutely love this one. I use this one here a lot. I find it makes my eyes pop pretty nice. I have like bluish gray eyes. And then I'm going to take the Sigma pencil brush, the E30. And this is great for applying color like sharply into your crease. You have a lot of control of where it goes. I just want to highlight my crease and down along the lash line a little bit. I don't want to go too far over with the color on my lid. Like, I try to stop before I get halfway on my lid, because sometimes that makes my eye look more closed in. And again, maybe it's just the shape of my eyes. It's just something that I've noticed on myself. And I don't try to bring the color too high above my crease either. I can always blend that up. But it's hard once you go too high to remove, obviously. You're better at building than you are at putting way too much. Just a new that now. Okay, yep, sorry. Now I have the Sweet Plum, the another mineral eye color from Mary Kay. It's a completely dark purple color, and it does have a little bit of shimmer to it. I'm going in with the pencil brush again, the E30. And I'm just going to build on that granite color that I put in there first. Same thing, almost like a triangular, starting the end, move my way in. This one I'll bring in a little more on the top and a little more on the lash line. But I still want to see that granite underneath in the middle of the eye. And it looks really messy right now, but I will blend it out. Just want to get it on there. Then you can play around with it after and blend it. I feel like I have such a boring white shirt and a boring white background, and oh my. I'll have to jazz up the next one. So then I'm taking the eye crease brush from Mary Kay. That's the one that I said is like feel like little needles, but it does work really good. So I start in the outer corner, circular motion, and then I do like the windshield washer over the top to blend in the top crease. And then along the lash line as well, and blend it all in. Play around with that for a little bit, do the other eye. Yeah. Blending, blending, blending up. You might get a little bit of fallout. I usually use like a brush to flick some of that away. So that's my color. It's nothing too dramatic. It is for day. You can definitely build on that and do a smoky eye and use like a carbon dark black color or a dark brown, and you could easily build on that and make it a really dramatic smoky eye. Okay, yeah, that's a mineral foundation brush I use like for everything. So I'm just wiping away the fallout from the purple and the gray. Then I'm going in with the MAC eyeshadow Shroom, and it's awesome for highlighting. I still have it in these packets. So that's Shroom written on the little magnet. It doesn't have a home. It just sits in a little envelope. And it's a beautiful, beautiful color. It is shimmery. So I use my ring finger and just apply that to underneath the brow. And it makes a really nice highlight. And it's not too dramatic. You can just blend it with your finger until it doesn't look too harsh. And I do a little bit down the nose, forehead, chin, cupid's bow, wherever I want to get a little bit of light reflecting. You wouldn't want to use this on blemishes though. I did put a little bit on my chin. Might not have been the greatest idea. So then I have the Maybelline Eye Studio gel liner in Black is Black. And it is awesome. Really, really dark. And look at the hole, look how much I have gone. So I'm going to grab the small angle brush for my gel eyeliner from Sigma. It's the E65. And it's exactly what it says it is, a small angle brush. Just making sure there's no jagged little pieces there. You could always snip them off if there's any strays or anything like that. So then I'm dipping into the pot right now, making sure I have a nice thin brush. And then I'm going to start applying it at my lash line, building on it again, build on it, don't go in like humongo. Just start with a small line, play with it. And remember too, you have to do both eyes the same. So I find I'm better off doing a thinner line and then doing my other one and then going back, and I might go back between both of them to even them out. So make sure you leave a bit of room for that too. And I'm pulling my eye taut because I can't do it without doing that. And I'm pretty rough at doing that. I'm just realizing while I'm watching myself do that. Note to self, be more gentle. So then I'm looking at the end of my eyebrow and I'm just doing an angle up from the bottom lash line up to my eyebrow. That's the angle that I want to go at for that. And I'm just making a small line and going in and pulling my eye again. And then I'm going to join that up to the top of the liner. You can make that as thick as you want or as thin as you want. I don't know if I ever do my eyeliner the exact same every day, honestly. It's like, I don't care as long as my eyes, each eye is the same that day. I really don't care if tomorrow it looks completely different. I just, it's fairly new to me. I used to use the eye pencil, and I find this completely different, but I absolutely love it. I don't know if I'd ever go back to the pencil again unless I'm doing like just a really soft day look. But I think I'm so addicted to this now. This is my day look. So that's my eye. That's my wing. And I'll do my other one as well. Try to even those out. So I have both of them done now, and then I'm going to grab the LA Colors Jumbo Eye Pencil in Sunglasses, I think the color is. It's black. Anyway, I don't get that. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to color the waterline, because sometimes you get that like pinkish under your eyelashes, and to me it just looks silly because that's just me. But so I'm going to color that in. I don't tend to do my bottom eye waterline or my bottom of my eye really unless it's like nighttime, because I find for me it's really dramatic. And my eyes are really runny right now because I'm really sensitive to doing the waterline. I'm not crying though. The Eco Tools brush is what I'm going to use for my contouring. This is one I picked up at the drugstore. And then I purchased a Sigma one for contouring, and I found this one was even better. Maybe I was just used to it. But that's why I use this one for contouring. So this is Sandstone. It's a Mary Kay Mineral Bronzing Powder, and this is what I use for contouring. Also for bronzing as well. You could just use like a couple shades darker than your foundation color if you wanted to. Depends on how dramatic you want to have your contouring. But I just go from the tip of my ear down to the corner of my mouth. If you have that natural jawline, it's excellent. You can just go by that. If you don't, I kind of have to suck my face in like fish face and find that bone and then contour it so it looks like I have nice cheekbones, or cheekbones, period. And you don't have to worry about blending it up or blending it too much, because I'm going to go in with some blush. But when you are blending it, don't blend down lower than that contour that you have done there. If you do blend it down lower, it's going to look really funny. So then I have the blush called Shy Blush from Mary Kay. It's a really nice pinky peachy color. It's really light. I really like this blush. Especially if you're doing a dramatic eye, sometimes you want to have like a softer blush color. And that's just a cheek blush from Mary Kay. So you make a funny face, do a little swirl. I tend to bring it up, like stipple it up to my hairline. And try to blend at the top of the contour color. Again, this is just my techniques, guys. And then I want to blend all that out again after anyway to make sure it kind of blends together a bit better. So I usually use like the big powder Mary Kay brush. If you guys know of a better big blender brush, because I need another one, let me know what one you guys think is the best one for that, for just blending all over color. Okay, I was wondering what I'm doing. I'm putting my hand over my face because the angle that I'm on, the light is shining on one side of my face from the window and it makes it look like my sides are uneven, but they are even. It just looks funny to me. So I'm just bronzing at my temples, up around the top of my hairline. Nothing too dramatic, just blending it all in. Going with very little. By the time I tap all that off, it's very little left on there, but I just don't want to have a white forehead. Oh, and there's my cat on the desk. And I just bring it down my neck a little bit, and my chest, and I kind of go crazy with bronzer once I get it. Because again, I said I'd rather add the color like that than having a foundation all over my entire body, because I don't know, it has to end somewhere. So the Red Cherry 43 lashes in black. First time I used them was yesterday. I actually really like them now. And I feel as though they were a lot easier to put on this time. And then I have the waterproof lash grab eyelash adhesive. And that came with a set of lashes that I had from Walmart. I honestly don't know much else about that. I've had it forever and it hasn't dried out, so I'm still using it. So I'm just applying the glue now to the lashes. I didn't paint them with eyeliner before. Some people paint them before with eyeliner, so you don't get that different color when you put them on, and then they'll put the glue on. I just prefer to touch it up after, so let that dry, make sure it gets nice and tacky. While that's drying, I'm taking this eyebrow comb, but I use it for my eyelashes because sometimes I find the gel will get in there, and you'd be surprised how much gel and clumps and stuff you'll get out when you brush your eyelashes and make them all nice and separate. And I actually do this too before I apply mascara, usually if I'm not wearing fake lashes, because it makes them really nice and separated and full looking. So that should be nice and tacky now. Make sure you put it on the right angle because there's a smaller part and a bigger part for these lashes anyway. And I've kind of bent them into shape a little bit. I just want to lightly lay them on. And then I can go back in. You have a bit of time to play with it. So I'm going to grab the tweezers and go back in and push them a little firmer on there. Once I get them where I want them. It's crazy how big a difference a pair of lashes will make to your look. Then I'm using the Mary Kay Pink Passion lipstick. I use this like pretty much every day. It's like just my go-to pink. I'm definitely getting more lipsticks in, but yep, this is the one I've been using all the time and I like this one. It almost has like a fuchsia look to it on the screen, but I feel that it's more pink than it is fuchsia like it looks on the screen. And then I have this Bonnie Bell Lip Lights lip gloss in strawberry. And it's a really, really pale pink, as you can see. So I just put that gloss on top of the lipstick just to kind of tone it down a little. My eyelashes should be dried now. Yeah, I know I touched up my eyeliner. I don't know if I showed you guys though. I just went back in and touched it up on top of the lashes. So then I have the Great Lash Mascara, and it's the Big Berry Black Maybelline Great Lash. It has a humongous brush. I'm just tapping underneath the lashes to join mine to them. I'm not taking the whole mascara up the entire fake lash. And making funny faces doing my bottom lashes. And don't laugh because I know you all do. me being aware of my mouth open and trying to close it while doing it even harder. So then I'm all done. Taking the MAC Fix Plus, and it's a setting spray, finishing spray, skin refresher, and then I just mist it all over. Refreshing. I look like I'm in a meditative state right now. It actually has kind of a nice smell to it. Even though it's like a mild smell, it smells kind of nice. And I'm all done. So let me know what you guys think, and leave some comments below. Thanks a lot. Bye guys.